Hello and welcome to the Confident Hypnotherapist. I'm Lawrence Akers. Thank you for joining me for another episode. Now this week we're heading over to the UK to chat with Derek Chapman. And Derek has been the creator of the Russian doll technique, which is a process I've been through myself and found extremely beneficial. He's also got an online training called the Awesome Therapist, which again, I've had a look at, and if you're keen to develop a few new tools for your toolbox, including the Russian doll technique, you need to check it out. And this is a great conversation in the sense that we chat a bit about how Derek came to discover hypnotherapy and some absolute nuggets of wisdom that he offers through this chat. So please sit back and enjoy. So Derek, thank you so much for your time today. I guess what would be a really interesting place for us to start is about find a little bit about what it was that brought you to hypnotherapy in the first place.
Well, I've always been this person we deem unconfident, and by my own standards, not by anybody else's. And I think even as a kid, because I went to, I'll do a shortish story, but I'll fast forward it a bit. So I went to different, I think the reason probably was I went to so many different schools. My dad was in the army. I went to about 25 different schools before I settled into one. So as I was like, meeting friends and going by, and it does have an effect because there's no stability. And you think, and you take on some beliefs and stuff. So, but then fast forward to about 1985, and I was putting on weight, and I couldn't get over this. I heard someone say, "Well, you put on some weight." So I thought, okay, I'll go and see this hypnotherapist, and I'm still pals with her actually. But I mean, so I went to see her, and it worked wherever it is. I had a belief, and my belief wanted this to work so much. Then suddenly everything sort of sat. It worked, and the clients say it worked. It was me wanting it to change, really, but it was great how I felt convinced something had changed, and suddenly I was stopping eating all the desserts and stuff. That was in 1985, and I thought this is really quite cool. So I studied more and more into this, and I became sort of, I don't know, a nerd, if you like, on the mind, and how you can, how people can change things. I mean, even today, before this conversation, I was out walking in the park and I was learning something. I mean, how bad's that? But there you go. It's like, then rewind from her, that would have been 1985, learning more stuff, going to different jobs and reaching the peak in your profession type thing, but feeling always a bit sort of insecure or not good enough. So, I thought, something's going to have to change. This is when people get really annoyed with themselves and they want to do something, that's the best time for them to change. So I went away for this intervention. I took my partner there. It was 2013. That's when I started doing this. And I said, can you come to this event? This guy's really good. And I can't go by myself. I was 56 at the time. I don't look good. Age 61, by the way. It's like,
okay. I actually would have thought you were much, much younger than that. So that's not just making a compliment. I actually really thought you were much younger than that.
Yeah, I refuse to grow old. Well, gracefully anyway. So we went to this event. And I always tell this story to the clients who come and see me. And I think that's why, because I mean, I don't do matching and mirroring and all that sort of stuff. It's to me, it's sort of fake. I just want to be me. And when you're authentic, whatever we call that word, just authentic, what's that? Just being you without any garbage. Yeah. I think people like that because you're relating to them. So I tell my clients the stories I'm doing. If any of my clients are watching this now, it's like a double whammy, it saves me repeating it. So I went away for this weekend, and there were 60 people in the room, and this guy at the front said, "Does anyone here want a change today?" And I thought, yes, I do. That's why I paid my £99, under my breath. And he said, "Does anyone here feel they're not very confident?" And I had this sort of, my body reacted, my gut reacted to that thing. "Does anyone feel they're not worthy?" I thought, oh my God, yeah, this guy's getting me. He's like Derek Brown. And does anyone want an undeniable process to let that go today? And I know they only pick one person, so I put my hand up. And then I had my hand in the air, and I'm surrounded by 59 other people. And I thought, put your hand down. Everyone's going to stare at you. That's how I used to be, seriously. And but a voice in my head must be my dad said, "Get value for money. Stick your hand up." And somebody else put a hand up over there. And I thought, you can quit your donuts. I've got serious anxiety issues. I don't think I'm good enough, Anyway, that's how I was, quite heartless. And I went to the front of the stage and he did parts integration. And I wanted to change so much. He could have said, wow. And I think I would have changed. But I remember the immortal words. It was like, close your eyes and just relax. And I thought, that's easy for you to say. I don't think I can. You know what I mean? But seriously, after I changed, and one thing I've noticed, the clients who come and see me, they change too. Because I felt so good after that. I thought, God, I found Nirvana or something. You know what I mean? It's like the eureka moment you have in life. And I thought, this is amazing. So me and my partner, and after that process, like there was 17 people. I counted them as I was recycling in my mind. 17 people come to me and said to me, God, you look so much more different now. I thought, interesting. And I noticed that look my clients give me, it's like this. They're trying to hold it all in because they don't think they're good enough. They go to a room, they become wallflowers, and they don't think, and they go quieter and quieter in their little shells, you know. And so I recognize that in people, and I say, well, I used to be just like you with a snap bum face, and they'll come and see me, and they laugh. Because look at your face, it's quite serious, isn't it? And they go, yeah, because you're taking your problem very seriously. And we live on the inside like a little tiny Russian doll. I have that metaphor, you know. Mm-hmm. And after I spent thousands and thousands, literally, on my career doing this, or it's not a career, it's a vocation. It's ever since that time, it's like I pity the people who, if you're really into this, it's those people, it's the partners who suffer, you know, because I'm like it really is.
I know that my partner suffers all the time.
Yeah,
quite a few comments from him frequently. Yeah.
Because you become obsessed by it, you know. I said I was going to run a group of the hypnotherapists, you know, get over the obsession of being hypnosis as I'm buying the next shiny thing. So anyway, I started seeing clients as soon as I did that course. No, I didn't. I did the that was like the taster type thing. I spent 14 days away doing NLP and hypnosis and got all of those qualifications and stuff. And then I started to see people in the real world, as they say. And when you're like a kid with a new toy, it's really bizarre, you know. And you want to change everyone, don't you? And you go, I'm not ready to change. And then you learn fast that only the people who want it can change anyway. And you're like a salesman, you know, buy this, it'll really help you. And like I've learned on the way to sort of hang back, you know, do they really want to change? It's like there's loads of metaphors around that I use for people who come and see me. Like they say, like the one is, if you go into a restaurant, you've eaten that food, and I'm saying, here's the antidote. And they go, I'm not going to eat another thing. They're not interested. They're not hungry for it, you know. But when they are, my God, this stuff works. But on the way, the people who it didn't work for, it reinforced that fear that, oh my God, maybe I'm not as good as what I thought. Well, hallelujah. And it's only like about, if I rewind, because everyone's watching this, probably hypnotherapists, don't believe that one true. Because isn't it funny how people always blame themselves and not the client they've seen?
Absolutely.
If you get out of that frame, it's like, oh, hallelujah, I can be free of this.
It's like they're taking the responsibility for the other person's change without realizing that they, you know, if you ask them if someone can make them change without their consent or their desire or their permission.
Unless they want it. So but having said that though, I mean, I think you how do you know when you get good? As human beings, we go, well, that went wrong. Yep. We don't sort of praise ourselves, and hypnotherapists are no different. We're human beings, we're all prone to that thing called human error. And the human error, what we do is, you can't help everybody. You will find those people who will never change, who don't want to change, but don't take it so personally. As long as you do your best, you know, that's all you can do. But I mean, and I've taken this belief now that, do you want to change? You know, that's it. Are you ready to change? As I'm talking to that client over there who's due at 11:30, you know. Mm-hmm. And if they do, I can give them some sort of change. But but also recognizing that change, because it stays the same. Yeah, it will be if you do that sort of thing. Who's hypnotizing you? Oh, really? Yeah. Because like the fear is like it's only like something you're doing in your mind anyway. Because in reality, if you stood next to somebody else who's doing the same fear, can you justify it in a court of law? Oh no, I can't. It's not real, but it seems real to me, you know. But it's like it's knowing what to say at the right time for the right person. Because someone says, do you I've seen these groups, do you do regression to cause? And I say, depends on the person. Everything depends on, it's not like a factory, here we go, you know. But when you got enough tools, you know which one to use sometimes. Even that, if that don't work, hang back. Do not use another one. You know, because you go, that don't, and I have these people that come and see me, they go, and they're usually the ones that are desperate to come and see you. Because it's their expectation of, I want to change, you know what I mean? So it's like, I hang back, you know, and they've been to therapize, I always hang back, because I'm waiting to say, well, that doesn't work. And then when I know their mind's sort of slightly a bit more open to it, I'll just go in there and go, what's that like now? Oh, it's different. Good, I'm glad you noticed a change. Then I'll do like a bigger change and stuff like that. And I get them to notice the difference. And as they notice the difference, they can see something different. Because no one can stay the same, to be honest, unless they're arguing for limitations.
It's interesting.
That's a bit of a long question, but answer.
Oh no, like, I mean, you certainly seeding lots of really interesting concepts there. And one of the questions that I generally had there is, what kind of qualities do you think make up a really good hypnotherapist? And I guess one of the things that I'm taking away from this conversation so far is that, I think we can get caught up in our own heads sometimes, and it takes us away from being present with the client. When are you going to be best able to be with the client and to know when to just allow those pauses to happen, or to reapproach with those reframes that are going to really benefit the client is probably best when you're not stuck in your own head, and when you actually are just allowing yourself to do whatever can be done in that space. Yeah. Are there other qualities that you think make up a really good hypnotherapist? What do you think? What do you think?
It depends what you find is really, really good. Somebody gets change work with that person. That'd be good, I suppose. Or, but then having said that, it's almost like being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it's a great gift, And if you can get comfort, and then you got no problems. But if you feel, oh my God, that person's going to affect me, no, they can't. It's just your mind, and get that, hallelujah. Before I was on this call today, I was doing that camera, and I had a minute to go because I don't really panic. It's like I don't really have fear as such. It's like I've devoid of that now. I can't be bothered. There's too much energy. When the client comes to see me, I say, I'll do this quick thought experiment with you now. Pull my arm. As I pull my arm, you might have seen that course, yeah? And as you pull my arm away, yeah, I'm going to relax my arm. And as I'm relaxing my arm now, what's it like? You try and get the energy back you did before. And I said, that's me. I don't do anxiety. It's just too stressful. And they'll laugh. Just a little tiny laugh that gets them in there, What a horrible thing that is. So to be a good hypnotherapist would be to have a belief when you can do this. And they do say fake it till you make it, which in some respects may work, but it will leak out somewhere when you get the person that says, well, that doesn't work. And you can reduce that little person you were before type scenario. Because I'm not here to prove things work. Because it's not pass or fail.
Well, that's exactly it for me. My experience can be that there are weeks where I feel like I'm doing fantastic work, and there'll be a couple of weeks there I think, man, this is not clicking like it was a few weeks back, and it almost feels like
it's not you.
Well, that's the thing. But you're absolutely right. It isn't me, even though I'm making the meaning out of it to be about me. And I imagine other people out there are doing the same, that they're making the meaning out of it to be about them. And in the process, it almost becomes that, where you're putting your focus.
We all do that as human beings. Even the biggest gurus out there, I'm sure that they admit, well, that person, and they don't tell you how much failures they do they?
No. Yeah. There's very few people.
I failed loads of times to get to where I am. And I'm sure I'll have the other failure too. But the point being, it's like, I don't fail. I said to the client, even the smoker, I keep in contact with my clients, I'm like the little voice that sort of says, hey, how's it going now? They go, if they don't get back, I know they've gone back on the cigarettes. But I give them exercises to do. It's not like, yes, I should now cure you in one session. I don't do that. I like to be realistic, how much do you want to stop, I'm not cheap. I'm the most expensive in the area. If you want cheaper, go there, but check out their reviews. And they come back and see me. But the thing is, I don't guarantee the work, because how can you guarantee how your mind works? I can make it easy for yourself. And even the lady the other day, I said, she goes, I've started smoking. I said, well, don't panic. I said, why don't you call me? So I said, look, come back in. I like to give value for money. I did it for free because I know she wants to stop. And she was on that list. I said, you stopped for a whole year. What made you start again? Well, it was stress. I said, good. Have a look at that situation. Did that cigarette really help you? Did you find less stress in it? Well, not really. And people don't think, do they? They don't think consciously. Like this guy said, I have my cigarettes and they help me concentrate. I said, if you have 2 packets, they make you concentrate more. Well, I never thought about it like that. And what about the colleagues you work with? Do they smoke? Because you said there's no. How do they cope with stress? Do they have to go outside? I'm just knocking that little leg out of their beliefs, because all it is a belief, really. And when the belief is they can't change. I'm addicted to nicotine. Well, that's another one.
Yeah. Yeah, the addiction, the identity versus addiction kind of thing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's have a little bit of a... Oh, sorry, go on.
So I know that I put the onus of the change on, not on me and the client. And it starts from when they book. It's like I don't want the tire kickers. They ring up on my phone. I've actually got a thing like it says text me, because I don't want them to say, oh, how does hypnosis work?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't really know, actually. I've been trying to find that out for my whole life. Let's talk about this, shall we? I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? Well, all it is, I'll give you a suggestion, and if you're in the right mind, you might believe it. Oh, I'll go and see somebody else then. Can you help me stop smoking? I said, well, I don't help people, actually. I like to assist them, because if I help you, it implies you're a victim. You're a victim? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, so I don't get in that conversation. I can be too abrupt to speak to people like that, and they go, oh, well, he's not very touchy-feely. I just tell it like it is. But I get results for the people I see. Not all of them, because I'm not Jesus of Nazareth, as I say to those people. I say, can you let me over this thing? No, I'm not, because I run a group at the weekend. It's like, it's the best thing. I do a Zoom thing. It's free at the weekend. There's like 25 people in there. And that's a great way to become confident. Now it's almost like I'm like, woohoo, anyone got any problems this week? I'm in this group and I said, oh, I've got a pain in my legs. Do you want to let go of that one? Yes. And what's it like now? Oh, it's gone. I said, I feel like Jesus of Nazareth. But seriously, I just did a quick technique on it, and she said, this guy's amazing. So it's quite cool. That's when you put you on the line, you know what I mean? That's when you call confidence. It's like, it's devoid of having the fear. But it's really, it's like we used to do them every Saturday, and I'm getting withdrawals now, because I'm like, God, should we do them every fortnight now? I'm getting withdrawals, so me and Michael do it, Yeah, it's okay though. But it's like a drug, isn't it? To help people. It is that's what it is. It's like a drug. That's why we do it. I think it's like seeing that person change. Have had all that garbage for years and go, we'll try and get it back now then. Well, I can't. I said, well, don't be so disappointed then. How long have you had that one for? 40 years. I mean, you must have seen those things I put in that group, haven't you, about the woman with the blood? Like that. Crazy, isn't it? That the lady we're referring to is like what was it? She had for 30 odd years a fear of blood. She couldn't even become a nurse. Her mother's a nurse. I thought, and that's the most important thing if people have taken on this now is, how will you know it's gone? Most important question you can ask a client, because I guarantee, I call it the burger brain. It only thinks of 7 things consciously, unless you've been to Harvard, maybe 11. And you're thinking about the problem. So when you change that problem, they forget what it was like. So I say, on a scale from whatever it is, what's it like now? And they go, before. And give me 3 instances how you know this is gone. Not one. I want you to convince me. And she said to me, I couldn't do... blood's the worst thing. If she saw kids and it was like the kids start having a fight or a scrap, she said, the blood, ooh, it was that, ooh. I thought, there you go. So I got on to watch that. Did you watch that one? The video?
Yes, you'd see that one, yeah.
That was quite, it's horrific. I've got no fear of blood, but this guy went to hospital, A&E, and he was there. And she hates hospitals. She hates anything to do with stethoscopes. It's not a great convincer, that was. And there was like, he was getting blood in it, and it was like liver. It was congealed blood out of his throat, and he was going, oh. I was in the back going, oh. This is hideous. And she was there like this. And she was watching the story and not the gory.
Yeah.
And that's when people change, because they become, inverted commas, normal. Because normal people, whatever they're going to call it this week, they don't get into the gory. They detach themselves. And they're focusing on the outcome rather than, oh my God. Like people tend to do, come and see you. I say to them, can you watch a horror movie? Oh no, I can't do that. So you know what you're going to go up against then. They can't see what reality is in fiction. Yeah.
You created the Russian doll technique, which is part of the Awesome Therapist online course. And for anyone who hasn't seen this online course, you need to go and check it out. It's absolutely brilliant. Can you tell me a little bit about how you came up with the Russian doll technique and what's been the feedback around that?
Yeah, I can do. No, so I mean, the Russian doll technique came about because I went on a course. I will give credit to where it's due. I went on this course with James Tripp, and he did this thing as we started on the thing about, it wasn't the Russian dolls, it was like stand here, stand there, stand there. I thought that's not too good, that's not too bad, but I didn't get it. And I thought, how can we make this better? So it's like improving something I experienced.
Yep.
And whenever I go in these training courses, I'm the first one who puts my hand up and goes, I want to experience this and have a felt feeling. So when people buy the Russian doll technique, I say to them, listen, you get 30 minutes of me to experience what it's like. So you're going to experience all thing for your clients. You're in that point of view. I know it's like. So if it's not working for you, how are you not making this work, So how it came about was my dad, he was like my biggest fan, to be honest. And he was like dying. Well, he wasn't dying yet. He was diagnosed with dementia, and then he got cancer. So rather than say to him every weekend, it was horrible. My dad, he was in the home, only for about 6 months. It was hideous. I mean, imagine saying goodbye to your dad every weekend and saying, bye, Dad, can't be here. And he said, I'm going to come home with you. I said, no, you can't. You've got to stay here. It was so gut-wrenching. It's like a puppy dog and saying, no, And my dad really loved me, you know what I mean? So I can't be sort of like that sort of stuff. So I thought, how can I turn this round and cope with this? Because I'm not coping very well. I was like seeing client after client after client. I don't want to be turned into like go into that stuff. So I developed this process called the Russian doll technique. So I thought, where am I now? I'm like in a little tiny helpless Russian doll. I'm sort of, but what I got, it was like the Russian dolls in reverse. So what I was doing is I was doing that condition that a lot of people, clients, and you're probably watching now, I'm not picking on you because I had it as well, is called POM, poor old me. I was feeling sorry for myself, going, oh, my dad's never going to love me. He's never going to tell me how much, you know, how great I am as changing people's lives and stuff like that. And so I was feeling sorry for myself. And he's never going to bring a cup of tea in the morning and all that noise. And it was all about me, you know. And I thought, if I step out of that and go to see it from a different perspective and think about all the gratitude for 61 years, well, not 60 odd years, 59 years, he's told me how much he loved me. He's given me presents. He showed his affection. Whereas people come and see me, their dads were never there for them, or they died when they were young, or they never showed that love at all. So how can I be ungrateful or want even more? And if you celebrate what you want, how you good you feel about, and you focus on that even more, you can't go back to the poor old you doing the problem. But you have it's like you got to experience it when you do, you know, when you experience it and even make it bigger and bigger, whatever you do, and it'll stick. And I say to people, try and go back to where you were now, and they go, oh, I don't want to, or I can't. And the reason why that works is because it's like neural chemistry. It's like, you know, whatever fires together, the neurons that fire together, wire together, Hebb's law. And the more you do it, obviously, the better you become in it. So it works. So that worked. And I thought, this is really quite cool. So I thought, I'm going to use this for clients. So I bought some. I said I was going to do this Russian doll course. I announced it at one of these meetings. I'm not kidding you. Okay, I'm great one-to-one. But suddenly I was presenting, and that was the biggest thing in my life. It's like, oh my God, who is who? But it didn't just happen at the time. It happened a week before, and I'm thinking, oh my God, my peers are all going to judge me and stuff like that, and they're all going to commit and stuff. Because I mean, seriously, I see those groups, hypnosis groups, and they come out with these words and thinking, what the hell are they talking about? Making things so complicated. And I used to go on course after course after course, thinking I was inferior. And I go to these courses now, and they say, well, how many clients do you see? And I said, well, this is like 6 years ago. I said, well, I'll 20 a week. And they go, really? Well, how much do you charge? And I was telling my price, and they were saying, well, I charge 40 quid. And I think I had a eureka moment of that, thinking, God, I'm not that bad, actually. I don't have to have these pacing, matching mirrors and Milton stuff and all this. I don't do that. I just do me. And when you're yourself, well, you can't really screw that up, can you? But if you want to be somebody else, like a James Tripp or a Melissa Tears or a whoever, you know what I mean? You can. Oh, you never meets their high standard. But when you can't really fail. And same thing I tell my clients, really.
I think one of the things. Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, sorry. So I was talking about the Russian dolls, how I incorporate it in a client session. Usually it's a great litmus test, because usually if they can't get that, not they won't be my client, but they've got no resources. And all you're showing a person has to be resourceful. And if they're resourceful, and they forget how powerful they are. I saw a guy just last week. Yeah, he works in this. I'll tell you who he works with. You probably know who he is. But it's like, anyway. I said, what's working for you so far? Then this is session number 2, the Russian doll techniques. I sort of get angry because I thought, God, I spent £150,000 on training. And people are saying it's a Russian doll technique that works for them. I don't get that. Even I don't get it, you know. But I do use the Russian techniques with other techniques. So it's like, because I don't understand timeline therapy, it's just way over my head, and some people can't get it, and some people do, don't they? But suddenly, when you've done the lemon technique, you've preempted them with the Russian doll technique, and now you do timeline therapy in the Russian doll, large one, looking down the problem, small one. You've disassociated by double, haven't you? And imagine a layer of cloud between you and that stuff. Well, you're totally disassociated. It's not that puppy dog counselling stuff. No, I'm dissing counsellors, but people come and see me and been at the road, and they've been traumatized. Because every week I've got to talk about a problem. I said, if you don't do that here, I want you to leave here feeling good. It's not like a puppy dog and picking your nose in every week. But even if you did, if you disassociate, and you can get some perspective. Perspectives are one thing that changes people, because we're in that problem. I actually posted on Facebook today. It was as I was walking back from my walk this morning, because I believe in sort of what's the word for it? Walking the talk or talk. I can never get those two. Walking the walk.
Talking the talk and walking the walk. Yep.
That's it. Yeah, that one. So someone corrected me last time. So, and there was, I work with people who for weight control, and I'm not massive, but I do look after myself. So in other words, it's hard if you're someone who's quite obese who's going to say you can lose weight and stuff. I show them how to do it. So as I'm walking to that home today, I posted something on Facebook. It was like, what's your perception? What's your focusing on? It was something clever, I thought. It's one of mine. It wasn't somebody else's meme. I'll show you. I want people to think, oh, what are you focusing on? Oh, what are you focusing on? ... that excludes everything you're not. Might do that for a Monday. Somebody may get it, someone's liked it, but seriously, in other words, if you can get yourself, that's similar to the Russian doll thing, really, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
The biggest metaphor I use with clients is the hot tub one. Have I told you that one?
No, I don't know if I've come across that one.
It's good. So in other words, it's how change happens. Or how people can change. It's great for hypnotherapists. You can relate to this too. Oh, let's turn that thing off. Weekly usage. Will this be on the screen with it? I don't know. Let's go there. Oh no! Now something's kicked in. Don't panic, Mr. Murray. Now it's going to be weekly usage. I think I was just hit the bottom of the screen. If anything goes wrong on Zoom, little tip: press the bottom on the dock. You get back to where you're going. That's got me out of jail a few times. It reminds me of those times when I cared too much. You know what I mean? It's quite easy to get there. You know, oh my God, now what? And I'm hearing myself do this stuff, and go away. Do you know what I mean? So, what was I talking about? Lost the train of thought.
Tub.
The what? The rest of hot clubs. Yeah. I think I must live my whole life, Lawrence, in some sort of hypnotic trance. I go around the park, someone says, "Is he in a trance?" I don't know if they talk about me, but seriously, but it's a nice place to be, devoid of all this garbage. So as you I say to the clients, imagine life in this hot tub, and you've been there for like 20 or 30 years. I use it with that woman with the blood. The reason why I use that with her, because she'd been therapized for a long, long time. And by that, I mean years and years of some sort of therapy that didn't get any result. So when they come to see you, you're like, oh, you're my last hope. I said, no, I shouldn't be your last hope. You should be your first hope. You're my last chance. And no, you should be your first hope. I'm just going to show you how to do it easier than probably you have done. But I'll hang back and I'll tell metaphors. Great metaphor you can use with your clients, which is this. Your whole life spent in this hot tub. It's not very nice. It's lukewarm. It's dirty. It's smelly. And depending who they are, you can say there's no pube over there, depending what rapport you've got with them, or you can break your rapport, I don't care. But it's like, but they get the picture and they usually go, ooh. And okay, but it feels very comfortable. Outside is, it's cold. It's like a frosty day. In order to go where you want to go to, let's say it's make this change in your life to get over that blood fear, or even hypnotherapists are watching you go, to see that client one-on-one the very first time. Because I remember I was like physically shaking when I first saw my first client, and that was like 7 years ago. My body was like doing this convulsiveness to me. That parts integration didn't work. You know, it did. It just, the other stubborn bit was still there. So in order for you to change it, you've got to get out of that hot tub. Oh, can't do that. It's uncomfortable, but it's comfortable. I know it. It's like I know it. I've been there for so long. How can I possibly change? That sort of, hypothesis. But when you get out, and people change because they want it so bad, and one, they get annoyed. And the reason why that works is the brain can't focus on two things at once. If you're getting annoyed, you can't really do, happiness, and you can't really do anxiety. As you're anxious, never mind. So as you get out of that hot tub, you're feeling the cold. And, oh God, but you're taking 2 steps forward, and you think, oh God, it's really cold out here. Now you're 2 steps nearer to where you want to go, but 2 steps further than where you came from. It's that decision where you got the catch-22, or and you go, oh, what do I do now? You can either stay there freezing in that cold, or take that leap of faith, or that uncomfortable feeling we get. And then people go, all right, that's it. I'm going to do it now. I've had enough. And you get in the hot tub and you go, oh my God, it's too hot here. It's too hot here. I'm going to go back there. I'm going to go back there. I'm going to go back there. And I reframe it like, do you know that breathing, the arm thing? As you allow your body to relax in that hot tub, I'm saying this, and as you relax and you go, trust in yourself, allow yourself just to relax. And as you're there, you notice you acclimatize, and you're looking around and you go, oh, it's quite nice here. And as you're getting that comfortable, as it's nice there, and your mind's clearer, and everything seems different there. You look back from it, you can look over there and you go, that's where I came from. Imagine going back there. And then people go, wow, I don't know if I could or not. Or the caveat is this. Imagine if you didn't make it to the hot tub. I've changed it now. Imagine if you didn't make it and you went back because you'd taken 2 steps forward And you thought, no, it's far too cold. And you went back in. Now you're back into the one that was slimy and warm, but now it seems warmer because you've been out in the cold. In other words, in some place, you've got to want to change. And the good thing about that, the moral of that story is this. When people change, they will feel slightly uncomfortable. They may feel slightly uncomfortable in life as well. Doesn't mean to say they haven't changed. And that's like the brain can get that concept. In fact, when you're feeling uncomfortable, you're changing. It's not the same. Great metaphor.
That's a fantastic metaphor.
Yeah.
What advice then, if you had hypnotherapists coming to you saying, I've been doing this a little while, I just can't seem to make that change that I want with the clients I'm working with. I feel like every single person I'm working with is not working out. What advice would you offer them?
Go back to basics. Don't try and find that silver bullet, yeah? Because obviously you've been trained in to do something, yeah? And what people tend to do is they go, well, that didn't work. But how are you making it not work? I mean, if you're doing something not right, is the people you're picking, is your price too cheap? Are you getting tire kickers in? There's loads of little things it could be. Do those people want to change? Are your friends and family, you know? And what are they expecting? What expectations do they have on you? What expectations do you have in yourself? The great question I ask the people come and see me is this. If they've got a fear of blood or everything, I say to them, even anything they come and see me for, I say, on a scale from 100, how much do you like yourself? And they go, well, I've never been asked that before, but I'm asking you now for the change of subject. I'll do it again. On a scale of 100, how much do you like yourself? And they go, oh, about 10, whatever, 100. Yeah. Okay, cool. So the problem's never the problem. Because seriously, if you like yourself more, let's say the fear of anything or whatever, and you had more resourceful and you believe in yourself and you're a bit more confident, even the hypnotherapist watching, like, you know, how much would it easier would be for you to get over that issue? How much would it be less of a problem if that person didn't get the result they wanted and you recognize it's them, not you? No, it has to be me because I've trained that thing. No, you're just defending your belief, really, because it's a belief. You can't help anybody. You can't help everybody. Nobody can. In fact, the people you're getting, because they're so cheap, perhaps, you know, no one can help them people anyway. So that I would question, one, your prices, yeah. And isn't it weird? We do this thing. I saw someone charging £50 the other day, and I thought, God Almighty! When I started doing this, I charged £60 for a consultation. And I was working full time, £60. Then I thought, then I put it up in 3 months later, it was 75. Then I saw a mentor. I've done all the mentoring stuff as well because I do the mentoring because that didn't work out. Maybe there's something wrong with me. No, nothing wrong with you. You know, it's probably the people you saw. And I went to mentors and I thought, well, did I really get anything from that? I don't really. So even this year, I saw a mentor, yeah, and I spent $3,000. And I hope you're watching because I didn't think it was great value. It wasn't. I'm the same person I was. Nothing's changed. All that's changed is the learning I got from my Zoom calls, to be honest. So now I offer the Zoom call policy protocol, the Zoom protocol, which is like this. Product called the anxiety solution, yeah. And every week we're in that group, and I'm working with clients one-on-one. So there's a few people in that awesome therapist who actually bought it. But it's a great way to work with clients over Zoom, and have your own Facebook group. Otherwise, you're selling to the same people here, there, and the other. And those people are very loyal, and they're my clients now. So it's another way of getting clients. And I didn't do it on purpose to get clients, but it was a great way to sort of learn your craft and hone your skill. Because when you're confident speaking about 20 people there, it does affect everything, really. Because in other words, all you're doing is you're learning to get yourself out of your own way. So that question you asked before about that person who's struggling, they're getting in their own way of everything, perhaps, if everything's going wrong. Because generally speaking, you can't get it wrong all the time.
No, exactly. It's and you know, I'm obviously going for a extreme case scenario there in that question.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm hearing here is really useful information for people. You know, if you feel like you're just not getting it right, perhaps going back to the basics and making sure that you've got a good handle on those, and also reassessing the kind of clients that you're allowing yourself to work with as well. Seems to be two very strong points that come forward there.
In other words, when you know yourself, that's it. When you know yourself and know that you're capable, that's what it is. It's knowing us. So what is confidence? Someone says to me, well, I'm not very confident in the one I'm seeing later. It's like, you know, I said, well, you're confident in the fact you're not confident. You're really confident in the fact you're not confident. So I'm just flipping it slightly, you know. You may have heard it before, but I'm getting a slight change, you know, an easy win. It hasn't changed, but I'm showing one, you can change. I'm giving my story about how unconfident I was. And he thinks, well, if he can change, I wonder. Because they think, you're so confident. I said, really? Am I? What's good? That's their perception, that's all. Because you're comparing yourself to other people all the time. That's a bad thing to do. Never compare yourself to other people. Always compare yourself to how far you've come. It's a cliche, but it's true. We don't do that. Another thing people don't do is this. They never pat themselves on the back and say, "You've done a good job there." I do. I think, yeah, you've done a great job there. But I don't do it. I let my clients do it for me because that's a bit egotistical, apparently.
What's fascinating for me is that this is the 4th interview I've recorded for this podcast so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That line, "don't compare yourself to anyone else," has popped up in every single interview on this interview so far. And it's a really important one as well for me, who, I've suffered from imposter syndrome, that sort of thing in the past. What got me out of that was to stop comparing myself to everyone else.
Yeah. You compare yourself to you're always going to win, aren't you?
Mm. Well, as soon as you start comparing yourself to everyone else, you start going down the path of, why am I not doing what they're doing?
Mm. Because there's people who are far eloquent than me. Not saying I'm eloquent, and if I compare myself to those, I wouldn't get out of bed.
Mm.
But how busy are they? I don't know.
Absolutely, and I have to give you kudos. The way that you present in the Russian doll technique, and in fact in everything to do with the Awesome Therapist course, it's wonderfully step by step. But also you bring just these nuggets of insight into it as well. For someone like me who's very process-driven, it's a really great way to learn. So I encourage anyone who's watching this who hasn't gone and experienced your course yet to go and check it out, because I really do believe it's a very worthwhile tool to have in your toolbox. And I think the way that you present that is just fantastic.
That was in my unconfident days, Lawrence, really, because I was like a little wood. Hello, welcome to so and so, and I was like this. I thought it was like something. I look at that and I cringe. I'm not that anymore.
I completely get that. In my own online course, my very first video, I'm very much presenting what I think people want to see, and then by module 18, I'm like, oh, just be me. It doesn't really matter.
Sorry. When you care too much, it's like, oh God. I say to people who blush, and I said, do you know what your problem is? And they go, what? You care too much. But the guy is coming to see me later. I'm going to say, I gave him a great analogy. This is a good one. So you say to people who do that, and all they're doing is frightened of making a mistake. So I may have mentioned it somewhere else. I think I heard it from Jürgen Rasmussen. Yeah. So it's like, because he's good. It's like and he said to his clients, I say to my clients, he said, can you go to McDonald's and order Burger King? And it's their response they give you with that answer. And they go, I take it a bit step further, and they go, yeah, of course I can. Can you do it in the next 50? Can you do it like twice an hour? What's the response? Well, I have to think about it. No, it's not a thing. It's not a pass or fail question. And they go, yeah, I can do that. Can you do it 3 times in an hour? Same checkout. And it's the response that, and then you know where you're at. And then strange enough, when I see people, I said, by the way, and they'll mention it, because normally I see people for 4 sessions, it could be less. But on average, it's 4 sessions. And the last one, they'll say, do you like the question you asked me about the burger thing? I said, yeah. Are you going to ask me it now? I said, no, I don't have to. He said, well, because I know you can do it. That's why you brought the subject up, isn't it? How did you know that? I said, just instinct. So, and they'll say, I can do that now. And I get some people who are so into it, people who, premature ejaculation, stuff like that, any performance-y stuff. I get them to do me a photograph, a little selfie, so I know they're not making it up. And they'll send a selfie too. And it's a good thing to get themselves out of their own way. They're sort of doing therapy on themselves. And what's it like the 4th time? Well, it was okay, I didn't give a shit. Well, that's pretty cool, isn't it? And they found the insight for themselves. Because it's better for the person to become more resourceful. So what's it? So you're failing on purpose. And when people fail on purpose, I do something in my group. I said, by the way, I started this thing last week. It's like, I'm going to do a Facebook Live today at 1:00. At 7 minutes past 1, I came online. I said, I deliberately came online at 7 minutes past 1 because I want to make a mistake. I failed, didn't I? Or did I? I didn't care. How freeing is that, really?
Yep, absolutely.
So, when people get that, I think I've learned to get myself out of my own head. That's all. I'm not saying I'm the best thing since sliced bread, because put me in a room doing a Hypno Thoughts live, and I've always imagined the worst case scenario. But one day, you know what I mean?
Maybe it's just that you become more selective about what it is that you'll get in your head about and what you won't anymore.
Yeah, exactly. The cat. Yeah.
I know, the cat is just beautiful, I have to say. So I should let you go so you can prepare for your client that's coming in shortly, but I really do want to thank you for your time today, just to be able to share what your experience has been. I think when people can hear a great hypnotherapist like yourself talking about how you experience a lack of confidence at some points as well, and some of the things that you've done to be able to get over that, or to push through that, or to just not notice it anymore, I think that can be quite inspiring, and hopefully people watching this will take something away from that and incorporate it into their own self-doubt, so they can begin to believe a little bit more within themselves.
Yeah. That's all it is, self-belief. That's it. When you believe in yourself, other people believe in you. But it starts with you. Anyway, thanks for the interview and for the time. Really enjoyed that.
Excellent. Thanks, Derek. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Cheers then.